Okay, so you're thinking about bringing a 1Password developer onto your team, and you want to make sure you're asking all the right questions. Smart move. We've got a mountain of insights here from the Perfect Developers Playbook. They're all about finding and hiring the best 1Password developers out there. So buckle up. We're diving deep into the world of 1Password and uncovering the secrets to making a killer hire.
What's fascinating here is the emphasis on finding a developer who not only understands the technical aspects of 1Password, but also aligns with your organization's specific needs and security culture.
Hi, I'm Jim Sugars, and this is the Perfect Developers Deep Dive, the show that talks about how to find the perfect developer. If you're looking for a way to quickly and easily find the best developer for you, your budget, your team, your project, and your business, then welcome aboard. You're in the right place. Whether you're just getting started or you've been in the game for decades, we're going to be giving you the tools, strategies, systems, techniques, and just a little bit of the old school about what you can do right now to have more fun, more impact, more time, and more money by hiring smarter, not harder. But before we get started today, I want to make sure you've taken the opportunity to get our incredibly popular, entirely free, very useful little playbook. The 5 questions you need to find the perfect developer now. It's simple, fast, effective, and 100% free. Try it now at theperfectdeveloper.com.
First things first, this guide breaks down the FAQs of hiring these specialists in a really digestible way. It's like they read your mind. One of the first things that jumped out at me was, what exactly does a 1Password developer do? They're not just setting up your grandma's new password manager, right?
Right. The guide emphasizes their role in customizing and integrating 1Password into complex business systems. Think automating password rotation, implementing multi-factor authentication, even making sure everything jives with security regulations like GDPR, which governs data protection, or ISO 27001, an international standard for information security. It's serious business.
Wow, that's a lot more than I initially thought. So it sounds like you really need someone with a strong cybersecurity background. But what if I already have a team of developers? Can they just learn 1Password on the side? Or am I looking for a unicorn here?
That's a question they answer directly, actually. And the good news is it's not about finding a unicorn. The guide suggests that existing developers with a solid cybersecurity foundation can definitely upskill to become 1Password specialists, especially if they've got experience with APIs. Those are basically messengers that allow different software systems to talk to each other, and automation.
So recognizing potential in your existing team is key. But if you are going the hiring route, this playbook better give me some clues on where to find these tech wizards. They must be in high demand.
They've got you covered. The guide mentions both traditional and tech-specific avenues. So think specialized job boards, LinkedIn, those are a given. But they also encourage thinking outside the box a bit.
Ooh, I love that. Tell me more.
Well, they mention the often overlooked power of referrals. Someone you know or someone they know could be the perfect fit. And industry events, you never know who you might bump into at a cybersecurity conference, right? They even suggest exploring freelance platforms for short-term projects or specialized needs.
So it's about casting a wider net and being open to different possibilities. But once you've found some potential candidates, how do you actually separate the wheat from the chaff? The interview process can feel like navigating a minefield.
That's a great way to put it. And speaking of navigating minefields, this playbook dives into some excellent questions to ask during an interview. Questions that go beyond the typical, tell me about yourself, song and dance.
Okay, that's right. They don't just leave you hanging after finding the candidates. Hit me with those insightful questions.
They're all about presenting candidates with real-world scenarios they might encounter in the role, really getting those problem-solving gears turning. For example, how would you integrate 1Password into an existing system that's, shall we say, a little behind the times? Or how would you handle a situation where a team member accidentally shared a password on, say, a Slack channel? You know, situations that require more than just a textbook answer.
I love that. It's like giving them a sneak peek into the day-to-day and seeing how they handle the pressure, how they think on their feet.
Exactly. And beyond technical know-how, they also suggest digging into those all-important soft skills. For instance, you might ask, tell me about a time you had to explain a complex technical concept, like maybe how APIs work to someone without a tech background.
That's such a good one. Especially since 1Password touches so many different departments, you need someone who can bridge that communication gap. Someone who can speak tech to the techies and, well, human to everyone else.
You hit the nail on the head. And when it comes to assessing their actual experience with 1Password, they recommend getting specific. Don't be afraid to ask for concrete examples of how they've used it in the past. Maybe even have them walk you through a customization they're particularly proud of.
So it's all about getting those practical, hands-on insights, peeling back the layers and seeing what they can really do. But let's talk about the elephant in the room salary. It can be such a delicate dance. How does this playbook suggest navigating those potentially tricky waters?
It's all about transparency and doing your homework. They highlight the importance of being upfront about your budget from the get-go. And not just a vague range, be specific. It saves everyone time and energy in the long run.
Transparency is key, but they also emphasize doing your research right, like understanding the going rate for 1Password developers in your area and with similar experience levels.
Absolutely. Knowledge is power in these situations. You want to make sure you're offering a competitive salary and be prepared to justify your offer, especially if it's on the lower end of the spectrum. Highlighting benefits, perks, or even the company culture that can make a big difference.
It's about presenting a complete picture, not just a number on a page. But I'm kind of embarrassed to admit I hadn't really thought about what happens after you've found your perfect 1Password developer. You shake hands, they sign on the dotted line, and then what? What does the playbook say about onboarding and making sure they actually stay with your company?
That's where things get really interesting. The playbook actually dedicates an entire section to onboarding and integration, because even the most skilled developer needs the right support and guidance to truly thrive in a new environment.
Okay, so onboarding, it's not just about showing them where the coffee machine is and hoping for the best.
Definitely not. The playbook compares it to welcoming a guest into your home. Make sure they have all the necessary equipment, like are they a Mac or a PC person? Get that right. Make sure they have access to all the relevant systems and code repositories from day one. And crucially, that they have a crystal clear understanding of their role, their responsibilities, and how they fit into the larger team.
It's all about making them feel welcome, comfortable, and empowered to do their best work right from the start.
Exactly. And don't underestimate the power of a buddy system or a dedicated mentor. Having someone they can go to with those inevitable first-week questions, someone who can help them navigate the company culture, can make all the difference. It's about providing that human connection even in a tech-driven world.
That makes so much sense. But onboarding eventually ends. How do you keep that momentum going? How do you make sure your 1Password developer feels valued and supported in the long run, that they don't just jump ship for the next shiny new opportunity?
That's where fostering a culture of continuous learning and development comes in. The tech world moves so quickly, staying ahead of the curve is essential. This playbook encourages businesses to invest in their 1Password developers' growth by providing access to training, whether that's online courses or industry conferences, and opportunities to expand their skill sets. Maybe they're interested in exploring a new programming language or diving deeper into a specific aspect of cybersecurity. Give them the space and resources to do that.
It's about recognizing that investing in your employees is investing in the success of your business.
Precisely. Plus, it creates a much more engaging and fulfilling work environment, which, let's face it, helps with retention. No one wants to feel stagnant in their career.
So we've covered a lot of ground here, from understanding what a 1Password developer does to navigating the hiring process, onboarding, and setting them up for long-term success. This playbook sounds like an invaluable resource for anyone looking to bring a 1Password developer onto their team, or even if they're just curious about what these developers actually do.
It absolutely is. But here's the thing I find most intriguing. They offer a shortcut of sorts.
A shortcut. I'm always up for a shortcut. Tell me more.
They call it the 5 questions. It's this quick, personalized way to figure out exactly how to find the right developer for your specific project. No more endless scrolling through job boards. No more sifting through mountains of resumes.
Sign me up. Where can our listeners find this magical shortcut?
They can head over to theperfectdeveloper.com to check it out. It sounds like it might just save them a ton of time and headaches.
And on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive into the world of 1Password developers. Hopefully you're feeling informed, inspired, and ready to build your dream team.